The arena glitch is back. Patch 1.21 for the Burning Shores DLC removed the ability to infinite jump on PS5, which rendered the old escape route impossible. But we have a new way to escape the arena, so the ability to duplicate items like coils and weaves and get virtually unlimited shards lives on. The duplication part of the glitch still works the same, but we need a new route, and thanks to Aruga, we now have it. The new method is much more difficult, but I'm going to break it down to make it as simple as possible. If you're not familiar with the original duplication glitch, it works by taking advantage of the fact that while you're in an arena challenge, the game saves a copy of your inventory to restore to you after exiting the challenge. So if we can manage to put items in a stash while an arena challenge is active, those items will still be in the stash when we exit the challenge. But we'll also get our original copies back, doubling the total number we have. If you'd like to dive into the details of this more, check out my original video on the glitch, but right now we're going to focus on the new escape route. First, let's get a few things set up to make our lives easier. Most importantly, I highly recommend you make a manual save before starting.
Just do it!
If something goes sideways while you're in the glitch state, you'll be able to load up this save to put everything back the way it was. Now, you'll also want to make sure you have everything in your inventory that you want to duplicate. You can duplicate anything except weapons and outfits, so make sure you've got all your coils, weaves, and resources. And make sure to remove any coils and weaves you want to duplicate from your gear before starting. If you're having trouble finding enough brimshine in the Burning Shores, the glitch is great for duplicating that too. We'll need to equip a few weapons as well. You'll definitely want a rope caster, and for the variation of the escape route I'm going to recommend, you'll want a good frost weapon like the Sun Scourge and something for dealing a lot of damage like a sharp shot bow. Once we've started an arena challenge, we need to escape and get to a stash, but the stash at the arena isn't there while a challenge is active, so the closest one is in Lowland's path. However, the map isn't accessible in the glitch state, so to help navigate there, it's smart to put down a waypoint marker on Lowland's path before starting. We'll also need to find our way back to the arena, so you can start a job for any item at a merchant there to give yourself a marker to follow. Make sure you have the pathfinding settings set to guided for these markers to show up. Also, make sure you have your graphics mode set to performance, as players have reported that resolution mode makes the new escape route more difficult. Now, the new route requires you to use wall jumps a number of times, so if you've never done this before, you should practice a bit first. To wall jump, first jump at a wall and then press circle to jump off it. Notice how I can control the direction Aloy jumps off the wall with the left stick. Jumping off walls in the direction you want is critical to doing the new escape route, so definitely get comfortable with this beforehand. Okay, we're all set to start a challenge and escape the arena. The primary route I'm going to show works best in the cage fight challenge, so we're going to use that one for most of the demonstrations, but I'll show you alternative methods that work for most of the other challenges too. So in cage fight, immediately tie down one of the Grimhorns, but don't kill it. Now, you need to bait the other Grimhorn into the right corner of this log barricade. Once it's in the corner, rope it down and kill it quickly. I do this with frost and a sharp shot bow equipped with critical hit chance coils. With any luck, the Grimhorn's body will fall in an orientation where you can use it as a ramp to climb up onto the barricade. If it doesn't fall in a good orientation, just abandon the challenge and try again. This small area here is the only spot you'll be able to climb onto, so it's important the Grimhorn's body is positioned correctly. Once you're on top of the log pile, you've completed section 1. Now, the Grimhorn body ramp was my small contribution to this route, and I feel it's the least frustrating way to complete section 1. However, there are a couple of other ways to get up here, and if you can master one of those, you'll be able to escape in other challenges and do the whole route faster on repeat runs. Aruga's original method requires that you use the Stormy Weather challenge, where you'll wall jump off this wall into a very narrow V-notch under the log trap platform. From here, you're able to jump onto the log pile and then up onto the top of the log trap. Jumping into the V-notch is the hardest part of the route for most people, so Fry over on my Discord server figured out you can instead go under the log trap platform and wall jump up onto this beam. Then a simple hop and flick of the left stick to the right will get Aloy into the notch more easily. It also helps to trigger the log trap first before starting. Of course, you'll want the Stormbird tied down while you're doing all this. Aruga and Fry's methods only work in stormy weather though, so Wallace and Paulino, who you may recognize from the arena leaderboards, figured out you can wall jump directly onto the log barricade in any challenge where it's accessible. To do this, you need to run onto the slanted logs and then jump up to this spot on the wall so you can do a wall jump to the left. I find it helps to hold L2 to aim just before you're about to land, which causes Aloy to have a slight slightly larger hitbox, making it easier for her to catch the ledge. Some players, like my friend MLG, find it helps to slide into the corner to get a bit of a speed boost and get further up the slanted logs before doing the wall jump. Regardless of the variation, getting on top of the log pile or trap platform is a very tricky maneuver and can become very frustrating, which is why I developed the Grimhorn ramp method. Okay, so once you've gotten on top of the log pile or log trap platform in stormy weather, our next task is to scale this wall. There's a small ledge right here we can stand on, and we can either jump directly to it or first jump onto this invisible platform towards the back of the log pile. However, be aware that there's an invisible wall sticking out over here, so you'll need to stay away from that. From either spot, jump onto the small ledge and keep jumping against the wall. At the peak of your jump, you need to flick the left stick to the right and then immediately crank it to the left and hit circle to wall jump to the left. The goal here is to grab an invisible platform near this wooden brace. You'll rarely get it on the first attempt, but Aloy will eventually grab it and climb up. This move is challenging for many people. I find if you jump a few times before trying to do the wall jump over to the invisible ledge, I'll usually get it. Other players like my friend Shadowfall have reported that equipping the rope caster while doing this seems to make Aloy grab the ledge more easily, so it's worth trying that. Mr. Fancy Pants, who developed the original arena glitch, discovered that hitting square right after hitting circle can help too, as it triggers an animation for Aloy to reach upwards for deploying the shield wing. The main thing here is timing though. It's really important that you execute the wall jump at the peak of your regular jump, and remember you need to flick the left stick to the right and then immediately left. Once on the invisible platform, our next move is to get over to this big triangular wooden one. The popular way to do this is to do a wall jump from the center of this wall over to the platform. The invisible platform we're on spans the whole width of the opening and you can't fall off the back, so there's a decent amount of room to move up here, but it's important to know that it ends just past this wooden support. You don't want to run too far and fall off, so move over to the left and get a running start, then jump for the middle of the wall and do a wall jump towards the big platform. If you have a good feel for where the end of the platform is, another way to do this is to simply sprint to the end, jump, and then immediately deploy the glider, which will get you far enough for Aloy to grab the ledge. You want to aim your jump at the third colored triangle or so. At first this is risky though, because you won't have a good feel for where the end of the invisible platform is. Mr. Fancy Pants also has a pretty slick method using an R1-R2 spear combo followed by a glider deploy. Give yourself a bit of runway on the platform, aim for the middle of the triangular platform, then tap R1, R2 and hold square for the glider and you'll boost yourself over there. Once on the big triangle, we'll need to get up on the platform directly above us. Most people do this by jumping onto this tiny triangular one first. You can run and jump to it directly if you do it at just the right angle, which is how I prefer. If you miss, you'll probably be able to jump your way back to the big triangle to try again, but you can fall down between the arena walls where you'll be stuck. If that happens, you'll have to abandon the challenge and start over. If jumping directly for the small triangle doesn't work for you, you can also hop up onto this leaning log and then wall jump off the left pole, which is the original method. Some people also like to wall jump off the right pole and skip the small triangle entirely, instead climbing up onto the covered platform. Another method I've found works well is to jump onto the leaning log, turn the camera to align with that log, then hold L2 to aim and jump sideways to the right onto the small triangle. If you can get up on the small triangle, you'll just need to do a short hop over to the covered platform. The next jump is over to this bridge above the arena archway. Then we can jump onto this roof and over to the back platform with all the spectators, where we can simply run off the edge and finally escape the arena. From here, the glitch is exactly the same as it used to be. We want to head to Lowland's path on mount or foot by heading around the west side of the arena. Heading around the east side is risky because if you go too far east, the arena challenge will end and we'll be forced to start over. On the west side, the challenge also fails and the timer stops, but we don't get kicked back, so we can continue on to Lowland's path. Once you arrive, open the stash, make sure to switch the menu to your inventory and put in everything you want to duplicate. Once you're done with the stash, turn to your left and head back to the arena. If you remembered to create a job at one of the merchants there, then you should see the marker on screen to guide you. If you forgot, simply follow the river back until you see this bridge, where you turn left to arrive back at the arena. Now hop off and run back to Kala to start the same arena challenge again. In our case, cage fight. Immediately abandon the challenge to exit the glitch state, and congratulations, you successfully duplicated your items. You can now find the original items in your inventory and the duplicated copies in your stash. If you want to duplicate again, make sure to take all the duplicated copies out of your stash and put them in your inventory so you can benefit from exponential growth. If you only have one copy of something to start with, you'll be able to get 2, then 4, then 8, 16, 32, 64, and so on. Some items like volatile sludge have low inventory limits, so you won't be able to get exponential growth with those, but you'll be able to get a lot of copies of most items very quickly. quickly. If you want to get lots of shards, do a few duplications first and then simply sell extra copies of items to a merchant. Now, there is a limit on the number of shards you can have, which is a little over 2 billion. If you go past this number, your shard count will go negative and you won't be able to use shards anymore at all, so you definitely don't want to get anywhere near this number. As for item limits, you can carry up to 10,000 of most items in your inventory and store even more in the stash. But be aware that large quantities in your inventory will cause it to load slowly, so I don't recommend running around with more than a few hundred copies of each item. So that's the new duplication glitch escape route after the Burning Shores update. Getting lots of shards and resources is fun, and can certainly be useful, for example to fund your attempts at arena challenges. But personally, I find the glitch most useful for duplicating coils and weaves, especially since we have some really powerful new ones in the Burning Shores. The only other way to get more copies of these is to do multiple New Game Plus runs, which I don't think most people want to do, so having the duplication glitch is a nice alternative. The glitch will also allow you to get the 25% critical hit damage and 1% instant shock chance coils, which you can't get anywhere else. I explain how to get those in my original glitch video. The new route is definitely much harder than the old infinite jump method, so if you're still on PS4 or on patch 1.18 on any platform, you should definitely use the old method, which I covered in my original glitch videos. But for those of you on the current patch, which is 1.23 at the moment, I hope this video has helped you out. If anything changes with our ability to use this glitch, I'll update the pinned comment below this video. And if you're having trouble doing it, feel free to drop into my Discord server. Pretty much everyone who developed the original glitch and this new route are on the server, and we have some incredibly friendly people who can help you out. Huge shout out to Mr. Fancy Pants who developed the original glitch and Aruga who developed the new escape route. There's also a bunch more people who have contributed to refining the route, like Fry, MLG, Stickla, Wallace and Paulino, and Shadowfall aka DF Chang 813. Elkjair also has a great video on how to do this glitch that I'll link below, along with videos from some others. It helps to see this glitch done by different people in slightly different ways. I'm also going to leave a full clip of the escape route here at the end so you can easily reference it. If you found this video helpful, leaving a like would be much appreciated. And if you want to check out the original method that still works on patch 1.18, you can find that right here. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.